Good evening. How is everybody tonight? Maureen is here from Kansas and Carla from Oklahoma. Evelyn, hi, from Indiana. And Charlene is here from Colorado. We have something that we've looked at before, but we're going to look at it in a different light tonight. Hi, Linda. How are you? What it is we have looked at clamshells prior, and I'm going to go ahead and do a very cursory overview of clamshells, but I'm going to show you some different things that we can do with them. Hey, Jean from Mount Vernon, Washington. Good to see you. And what I want to do is I do want to just kind of review. Hi, Pam from Maine. Best lobster ever. Oh, I might have said that once before. Hello, Regina, my friend who is in North Carolina, North Georgia. I'm sorry. Um, and there's Linda, another Michigander. Welcome, Linda. Alice is here. We've got a couple Colorado people here tonight. And they are popping in. Donna's here from North Carolina. Oh, there's Cactus Deb. Ann is here. Debbie just said, "Oh, there's Cactus Deb from Arizona." And Marcia's here from North Carolina. Oh my goodness. I hope. Oh, Patsy, I didn't see you there. Ken said, "Everybody's popping on quick." Hi, Linda. El Paso, Texas has made it to the house, and she is here. And we always interrupt your dinner, Linda, and I apologize for that. Anyway, what I want to do tonight. Hi, Nancy, Mary Lou. Oh my goodness, we got a lot of you. Lee's here from Indiana. Hi, and Ruth Ellen from Virginia. Oh, you guys, I can't believe we're getting so many people in this morning. Good morning, Rita from Northern Victoria, Australia. 10 a.m., a perfect time to watch with her morning tea. Oh, Linda has her hubby getting dinner started. Awesome. My hubby usually, when it's his turn to cook, we go to a restaurant. And it's probably better that we do. Actually, it's probably better that we do if I cook. Anyway, let's look at some clamshells. I know some of you have seen this before and some of you haven't. This is considered clamshells. Okay. It's with a different shape, but it still has all of the properties of a clamshell. And what those properties are is we have one row that meet side by side, and on the second row, they actually go over where the first row meets. Now on this one, I did put some little curly cues in there, just some free motion stuff. Anyway, I really like this. I really do. And my hope is someday to actually do a whole class on clamshells. I'm not sure if I'll ever get there, but I'm going to try. Hilda, hi from Perth, Australia. So nice to have you here. Okay, now this is another little sample that I made, and I don't know which is the front, which is the back, although I have a feeling this is the front. And the reason that I'm saying that is because I used 2 layers of batting in this. I used a regular 80/20 batting, and then I put um, wool batting in. Okay. And you can see how beautiful that loft is. It looks like a pillow. You want to jump from one pillow to the other. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. Absolutely love it. Oh, Barbara's here from Illinois, and Lisa made it from Sugarland, Texas. Has it been a couple weeks, Lisa, since we've seen you? I don't remember. Barbara Robertson is here from Southern California. Wonderful, beautiful place, good weather always. My brother loved California. Okay, so here is another example. Okay, hi Sandy. So nice to see you. I'm hoping everything is back to normal for you down in Tampa. I know it's going to be a long process. Okay, so this is a regular clamshell. But what I did with the regular clamshell is added some feathers. Okay. I also added some hearts. This is one of the snowflakes. You can add, and this is just a plain old oval. So you see, you can add a lot to make something that's really quite simple become something that's really very spectacular. This, I really like the look of this coming back and echoing these clamshells. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's take a look. Now, tonight I said we were doing clamshells too. I'm going to show you the difference between the regular clamshell and the clamshell too, okay? Anna's here from Central Texas, and Donna's here. Like feathers? Yeah, I like the feathers inside the clamshells too, Donna. It really just kicks it up a notch, right? So here is our regular clamshell, and this is the clamshell 2. Okay, if I can get it out. There we go. The difference is the length. There's no difference in size. It's just strictly in length. And when you're doing a long area, believe me, this is so nice to have. And it comes not only in the same size as our clamshell that is in the starter set, it also comes in this size, which we're going to pull it out and we're going to check out the sizes here. So what this clamshell is, it's a 3/4 by 1.5 inch, and it's a 1 by 2 inch. Okay, clamshell math. Are you guys ready for this? Now, it would not hurt to take a note. Oh, Linda says that looks so nice with the additional designs in the centers. I do like them too. Hi, Julie. How are you doing? I haven't seen you in ages. Okay, so what I'm going to do is explain clamshell math. A clamshell is a half circle. I'm going to turn this light off so it doesn't glare. It is a half circle. It is twice as wide as it is tall. So what we've got here is we've got a 1.5 by 3 inch clamshell. And that's this one and the clamshell too. So that tells me that from the starting point to the ending point, this is where our needle's going to start, and this is where our needle's going to end, is 3 inches. Okay? Now, when our foot sits inside of this little crevice here, the needle is going to be lined up with this vertical or horizontal line right here. So our needle is going to line up 1/4 above and 1/4 to the right of this. This point to this point is 3 inches. This point, now remember, our needle lines up right on that line. From this point to the top is half of that. It's 1.5 inches. Okay. Let's take a look at another one and work the math out on another one. Now this one's really easy. It's 1 inch by 2 inches. And what that tells me is from the left to the right is 2 inches. From the needle placement to the top is half of that, or 1 inch. Okay? Now, if you want to get a little more in depth into it, from the halfway point across here would be a half an inch, I believe. Let's just check that out. Okay. So if we go, no, I'm wrong. Okay. So from this to this, okay, that's what it was I was thinking. Okay. From this side to this side is 2 inches. From here to here is 1 inch. And from this center to this side, to either side, is 1 inch as well. Okay? So you can easily figure out what size your clamshells are. And when you're going into a long line, it really helps to know that, especially if you need to cut part off, because you want to cut equal sides off of both ends. And that just makes it look prettier. Okay? So these are our clamshell twos. Now I'm not gonna use this one tonight, but I do want to show it to you. This is the oval clamshell, and I'm going to put that down here. We also have squatty clamshells. We have smaller ovals. We have larger ovals. Now, what these guys are great for is when we want to do a swag. And the swags actually make beautiful, beautiful border treatments. Hi, Sue Janice. Hello, everyone. Please wish Janice a happy birthday. um, Sandy said, let's see what Sandy's telling us here. I have multicolored clamshell top that I put away because I didn't know how I wanted to quilt it. Oh, I think maybe it is good, Sandy, that you'll get it out and get it finished. That's awesome, awesome, awesome. Linda loves the swag look. And Janice, you're getting some birthday wishes on here. We took her to lunch for her birthday yesterday. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at stitching these guys out, okay? I'm just going to move them out of the way here. And remember when I said squatty clamshells? This is what a squatty clamshell looks like. It just really is. It's squatty and they're cute. They really are. They are fun to use. Okay, let me clean some of my mess up here. I'm going to take a regular size clamshell and get my paper out of here. And I really should put some thread in my sewing machine. I was busy getting caught up on a little bit of paperwork before we got started here and forgot that I need thread to sew. All right. Did you all get an opportunity to see the launch of our meander squiggles and edge to edge embroideries? They turned out beautiful, just beautiful. Okay, now I need to turn this on so that I can go ahead and hopefully thread this machine. I do it enough times a day, I should be able to. And then what I want to do It's hard for me to get over here to see where I need to be. Well, my goodness. There we go. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and pull that bobbin thread up, and I am going to grab my glider. I always like to put my glider on. I love this one because I can go back and forth from regular stitching to ruler work and not have to worry about the feed dogs chewing up my glider. So that's just a real nice way to do it. Okay, let's do very basic first. Now, I'm going to start in the center and come out. I do not need all of these clamshells, but that's okay. I don't have to use all of them. Hi, Becky. Oh, Becky has the greatest idea. I've never even thought of it. I use it when I'm hand stitching all the time, Becky. She keeps beeswax by her machine for when she needs to thread without the automatic threader. Great plan. I think I'm going to do that. I think that's a great idea. Okay, quilting this can be done side to side, but I'm not going to do it side by side. On this particular machine, what you're going to notice is that my template is too long for side by side. Okay. Plus the fact I personally do better when I am stitching towards me. Okay. So I can start up here. I've got marks here that I put in, and I'm going to first set my foot. Oh, that might be just a little low. Let it fall natural. There we go. I think it's still a little low. Boy, getting started tonight's giving me grief, isn't it? Okay, so there we go. I'm going to pull my bobbin thread up, as I always do. Now, just for grins and giggles, show of hands, or just a yes. Has anybody ever heard me say we're working on a curve, so we want to keep our stitches just a little bit shorter here? Okay, Barbara said she's going to try the beeswax as well. And hi, Patricia. No, Debbie, okay, yeah, we're hearing. Oh, yeah, you guys really have heard me say this before, haven't you? Hey, Nancy, I didn't see you there. Oh, Patsy, hi from Ohio. Okay, yeah, you've heard me say it. So I don't have to say it again, but you all know what I'm thinking, right? Just keep it a little shorter. And the other little, shall we say, obstacle that I'm dealing with tonight is that one of the hooligans is on my foot controller and he's not going to move. He's taking a nap. There we go. I got it out. Now my foot will fit on it. I'm going to first take a stitch in place. I am going to keep hands on both sides because I don't want to accidentally push or pull the template either way. I want to keep it nice and straight, keeping those stitches small. Listen to your machine. You will know the sound of your machine and how fast you have to move your hands as you work with it. It's all a matter of practice. Okay. And if you don't think that we still don't practice, that would be a misconception. As an instructor, I'm practicing all the time. I practice before I present to you guys. Actually, almost everything that you see me make is made twice. Once for practice and once for the real deal. Okay? So it's important. It really is. And sometimes I don't know about you, but sometimes I have a day where it's like, I don't know what I want to sew today. I know I want to sew, but I don't know what. So on those days, what I tend to do is just pull out at random templates and practice squares, and I just start working with them. And then it inspires me to do something better or something more, I should say. So here are 3 clamshells. Okay. Now, we cannot start the next clamshell here, can we? What we want is we want our clamshells staggered. And we can't put the clamshell, want you to see this good. I can't put the next clamshell up here because the foot is in the way. So we've got some options. What I like to do is just stitch out into the seam allowance. Okay. Now, where I want to end up is I want to end up so that this clamshell, oh, perfect, almost perfect, will sit at its lowest point on the highest point of the previous row. Okay, so I'm going to kind of guess where that is. And if you want, you definitely can take a pencil or something, and it's going to be right about here. Okay, just going to make a little mark. Remember, this is in my seam allowance. Okay, Patsy, oh, Nancy's here. Hi, Rita. Hi, Patricia's here too. Oh my goodness, I missed you guys coming in. Um, Patricia says, where did she go now? Oh, I lost her. Patsy says, I can't imagine not practicing when I know folks are going to be watching, especially.
Ruth Ellen wants to know.
Ruth Ellen wants to know. Okay, inquiring minds want to know. Ruth Ellen, you're not going to believe this when I tell you, and I probably should not be telling you this in front of my husband. What do you do with all the practice pieces? And what is the fabric you are using? Okay, quite honestly, most of the pieces that you see me work on these lives and my practice pieces end up in the trash. Okay. I know some people out there are probably going, "No, dare do that." But yeah, I do. I only have so much room that I can keep them. And I don't put them together, although I could put them together in some kind of crazy quilt or something, but who's got the time, right? And what the fabrics that I'm using, okay, tonight I am using a shadow blender from, I think it's Maywood. I'm not really sure. It's a fabric that I ended up having a whole lot of and don't see a whole lot of places that I'm going to use it. Normally, what I do, I go to a big box store and buy the cheapest fabric I can buy for practicing. Okay, Evelyn says we could give them to local um,
UCA.
SPCA for cage pets. Very good idea. We don't have one local, but go to the animal shelter. Di says, have trouble controlling the clamshell templates. Rita does. They seem to slip no matter how I try. Okay, we're going to talk about that, Rita. All right. And what about binding them and donating them to animal shelters? Absolutely. If there's anybody out there who wants to bind them, let me know. I'll happily send them to you. Oh, Becky, that's a great idea. Using practice pieces for mats for the dog and cat food. That's a great idea too. Okay. So Rita says she has trouble. And you know what, Rita? I don't think any of us have come and done clamshells without having trouble holding on to them. So I'm going to get up here to my second row. Okay. Oh, one of the things I should have done, and I didn't, but I will right this minute, is I should have put a side on here. Okay, so this is going to be where my seam is, right in there. Okay, got one on the left, not the right. What I have found, and not just with clamshells, I have found this to work with other templates as well, because it is hard when you're going in all those directions to keep it exactly where you need it. So what I do, here we go. Oh, I'm sorry. I hate bumping you guys. Yeah, go ahead. I line up right here, the half of clamshell where my first one ended. And then what should happen,
What are you doing? You sure you're down that road?
what should happen, and I need to go up a stitch, is that the top
Hey,
of this will skim, the top of this line will skim the previous row. Okay?
you're bored.
And now to keep it from flopping around back and forth, and I'm going to come one more clam over here. I use two hands. I put my right hand down so that my finger is not pushing, it's stabilizing the template here. Okay. And I put my thumb on the opposite side so that it's stabilizing it in that direction. So what I'm saying when I say that is I'm not able to push my template to the right because I have my right hand stabilizing it. And I cannot push it to the left because this thumb won't let it go there. Okay? The worst thing that you can do, and it's one of the things that I had the hardest time overcoming, is tensing up whenever I get going on a template that I was scared of or uncomfortable with. And that's kind of how I was with the clamshells, Rita. I was actually kind of afraid of them, if there is such a thing. So relax your shoulders, take your time, take that. I like that one stitch in place before I start moving, keeping those stitches short, and then just hug that template. Do not push the template against the foot and don't push the foot against the template. Make sure that your slider is well polished. That is also a huge help. Make sure you have a sharp needle or one that's not worn out. Now, we want to make sure that we are lining up as we go along. First and second row, we don't have to worry too much about it as a rule. The fabric has not yet drawn in too far. Okay, there. Now I'm going to just take a peek here, and I do need to move that down just a little bit So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to the top of this clam and then I'm going to move my ruler down a hair, okay? I'm gonna make sure I'm lined up, nice and easy. Okay, now I'm at the top of my clam shell. So now I can move my template down. No one will ever know that that occurred. Okay, well, you and I'll know. But we won't tell any of the rest of them, okay, Rita? It'll be our secret. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna touch the clamshell of the previous row. I'm going to double check this horizontal line. It's horizontal to me, is laying there perfectly. And we're gonna speed up just a hair. There we go. Now on this side, what's really kind of cool is we don't have to travel up like we did over here because you can see now we are at the top of that clam. So all we need to do is if we're at the top of the clam on the row previous, we're at the lowest point on the row we're going to start. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to put it in this direction. And now you'll see I can just slip that in. I'm nice and lined up. But now what's going to happen, because I had to make an adjustment here, I will likely have to make more adjustments down the line. That's okay. It really is okay. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to again take that one step stitch in place. I'm going to hit the top of this clam and I'm going to smush it down there. And I'm smushing it like maybe one, two stitches tops. Okay, so here we go. And we are at the top. Okay, now I want to show you one of my very favorite treatments for these clamshells. And I saved the best for last. Yep, that's the one. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this in. Actually, I'm going to take the smaller one. Okay. I'm going to go ahead, put it in, come around, and come back down. And now I can flip it over. Come around and come back down. And it's okay if it's not perfect, remember. And stop right there. Now I'm going to put my clamshell back on. And yeah, it's going to cut that off just a little bit, but that's okay. Here we go with our next clamshell. You'll see that even though it cuts it off just a hair, it doesn't matter. It really does not matter. And off we go. Okay. So now we have got we're gonna come back over the top here, and that is gonna be our little embellishment there. Could we do it a size bigger? Yeah, I do believe we can do it a size bigger. Let's try it. Okay, and this time I'm just gonna come up and do one rotation here. Remember to keep those stitches nice and short. And stop back at the bottom and put my clamshell back on. And we're going to come this way and we're going to come all the way down again. And Rita, do you see where I've got my fingers? This is holding on to this side of that template. This finger is holding on to this side of the template, and it gives me the entire control that I need. When it's time to move it, no worries. I just go ahead and move it over. And now this one, we're going to have to stitch up again. So this probably would have looked better if I had one going in each direction. Sadly, we just don't have that much time tonight. Okay, so we're going to come up one more time here. Make sure I'm in the right spot, because we're going to come back and I want to show you one more embellishment on this. There we go. Let's see how close we are. Oh, I have a little way to go yet. You'll see this is where I want to be. And I'm probably only a few stitches away. If this were a seam allowance, I would use my 12-inch arc or my sash lead to make sure that I got to stitch in the ditch. Okay, now I should be good to go. Oh, boy, that is really close. Okay. Yeah, maybe one more stitch. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to come down and stop. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to twist my template. Okay. And I'm just going to come up to the top and back. I'm going to twist it again up to the top and back. Put my needle down. I'm going to straighten everything out now. Okay. Making sure I'm lined up. Okay. I lined up with the line instead of the last row of clamshells, but that's okay. I had the line in here for that reason. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to twist. And this should be 1/4 of an inch, and that is, well, it was. Oh, goodness. There we go. So now I'm going to come back up. We're not going to meet. We're just going to leave a little opening there. There we go. And again, I'm going to twist. I want to come to 1/4 of an inch. There we go. And again, I'm not going to meet. I'm just going to leave a little bit of space between them. And stop. There we go. And now we're going to make one more clamshell. And off we go. Stop and move my hand. It's always a good plan to stop and move your hand as opposed to stitching over it. And we're going to go right to the edge here. Okay. So there you can see some of the little embellishments that we can do, and we can do a lot of embellishing. Now, if you have the entire clamshell set, what you've got is you've got a lot of different depths to deal with. Okay, and I think I want to show, let's show this one. This is one of those squatty clamshells. Okay, and it's kind of interesting. And what I want to do with this one is I want to do, I've always done egg and dart with a regular one. I've never done an egg and dart with a squatty clamshell. Okay, let's go back to some. Oh, thank you, Rita. I really appreciate Jean too. Oh, Becky, thank you. Hi, Marcia. Barbara, thank you so much. Suzanne, hi. I didn't see you come in. Kathy, thank you so much. Mary Lou just said, is this how you do the echo? It's how you can do the echo. Let me show you how I do the echo. Okay. Um, and again, this is practice, guys. This isn't, it's not something that's going to be bred within you. It's not in our DNA. It's in our ability to practice or our desire to practice. And yeah, this is exactly how I do them. And I think that this could be because of a throwback from my days of enjoying free motion stitching. So what I'm going to do here is I am just bringing my foot around the inside of the clamshell, keeping it as steady as possible. It's not perfect, and it's okay to not be perfect. Now, okay, I come down to my seam and come over like this. Okay, now this is a 3-inch clam. So, no, that's the wrong size. What if we tried? Okay, we can do this. Let's come in, figure out how far we need to come in. Okay, this is what I know. I like to take what I know and work from there. This is a 3-inch clam. So that tells me that from here to here is 3 inches. My center is going to be 1.5. So I can draw a line at 1.5 right here. And this is why I like to use paper and draw things out, okay? This, what size is this? This is a 2 inch. So should this fit in here? Yeah, it certainly should. So what I did is I went ahead, I did not plan this out, guys. I did not stop here by design. I stopped here purely by accident. Okay, but this is a 2 inch clamshell. So what I'm going to do is line up that center line up the horizontal line, and now you're going to see how poorly I stitch in this orientation, okay? But that's okay, I don't mind. So there we've got, it's big. It's not a great echo, but it works. 1.5, that's smaller yet. I want a 2.5 if I have one here. I don't know if I do. I don't see one off the top of my head. So a 2.5 would fit perfectly in here. It would look wonderful. Okay. Now, if you want to get real fancy, you're going to come in and let's figure this out. There we go, right about there. Now, this is a 1/2 inch by 1 inch. There we go. And now we've got we could keep going bigger, 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 and bigger, and we'd have ourselves a beautiful little rainbow, right? Now, let me, there it is. I will have to check to see if we have a 2.5 inch clamshell, it would make a perfect echo. Does that help? Hi, Alice. Thank you. Oh, Judy, hi. You're here from Wisconsin. Oh, yes. Oops. Okay. And it looks like our Indian summer, as that's what they call it up here, is probably leaving us tonight. So let's take a look here. And I'm going to take out, there it is. You'll see in my templates a lot of times I have my drawn out. Now we can go bigger than that, can't we? No. Let's see. This is the best way to determine. Yeah, it looks like we can. So here's my center line of my heart. I'm going to line it up here and I'm going to line it on the one on top. And we're going to start at the top, not at the bottom. No, we could start at the bottom. Go ahead, start at the bottom. Oh my, okay. I gotta get you guys moved up a little bit. There we go. And we're gonna pull this up and needle back down. Take my one stitch in place. And around we're gonna go. We're gonna hit that top and stop with our needle down, okay? Which I do manually. I don't have my fancy machine out here. Okay, now we're going to line it up again, making sure that we have our halfway point marked right here. There we go. And now we're going to stitch around and we're going to come down. Now that's a pretty good size heart in there, isn't it? So let's do something just a little bit different. I'm going to put my 1-inch heart in there. Again, lining up those center lines, those vertical center lines here and here. I'm going to come up here to the top, put this down, put this over, line myself up again, and around we're going to go. And we're going to stop. Okay. Oops. I always forget you need to pull that one up. Okay. Now, I know this is a ruler class, and normally we only stick to rulers. But let's add just one little thing in here, okay? Oh, Ruth, I forgot to take your comment off. Let me see if I can find, there it is. Okay. And,
There you
huh? It's gone now. Okay. I also am putting a link in there to purchase the clamshell set, okay? So let's do something a little different here. I know that you guys are good enough to do this. It's really plain and simple. We're just going to pack down this background a little bit. That out of here. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to be close to the perfect. But it's a great way to learn how to not push, but guide your fabric. And basically, when we're doing rulers, we're doing the same thing. We're not pushing them, we're just guiding them with our hands so that they go where we want them to. And this is a great exercise to do that. My shoulders are relaxed. My hands are not pushing on the fabric. None of that. And there we go. We just dressed it up just a little bit. Okay. There we go. I would come and do this top and over on this half as well. So even though it's just a clamshell, it's more than just a clamshell. Okay. Now, one more thing I want to show you guys because I know this is Linda's favorite. Okay. And I don't have all the sizes here, so it's not going to be as pretty as it usually is. But if you only have one oval clamshell, or you have the entire, let's do the entire clamshell set instead, because we can do it just with the clamshell set, okay? And I think Linda knows exactly what I'm going to do. All right, I'm gonna get the plain clamshell set out here, I hope. Well, there's 3 of them, and I need 2 more. Oh, here's 4th one. And there should be 1 more here somewhere. Ken found it? Did Ken find it? Ken found it. Good job, Ken. Thank you. It was hiding on me. Okay. Gonna just take a little drink here. I'm getting dry. Okay, Maureen loves the heart. I do too. I think it's fun. Donna said those fills are another great idea, and they are. Nancy says hi, Ken. Nancy's here. Yeah, I really do like the fills and working with different fills. This was really an easy one because I used 2 different size hexagons, and that's all it took was 2 different size hexagons. So, it's there's so much we can do, guys. There's so much we can do. It's amazing. Okay, here is the first clamshell that I am going to use. These are all 3-inch clamshells. The difference with them is the depth of them. Okay, so I'm going to grab my handy dandy little ruler here, and we're going to come out 6 inches. When I'm measuring too, I don't like to go from the edge of the ruler. We can be off a little bit. But if you put it on a marker on like the 1 inch mark and then just go over 6 inches, so you're actually at inch 7, you're going to get a much cleaner, more accurate um, measurement. Okay, there we go. So the first one I'm going to use is going to be, and I'm putting these over on this side so I don't have to go hunting for them again. Okay. So what I am doing, because this is the only one that's this different, it has this sort of it's a very narrow shape here for our foot. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put my bobbin thread up, my needle down. There we go. Okay, I am lining this first line up on my pretend seam line. Okay, and I'm going to take my first step in place. I'm listening to my machine. I don't know how well you can hear it, but what I'm listening for is a smooth rhythm. I want my machine to remain constant, very consistent in its speed. I don't want it to be speeding up, slowing down, and all that. It's just a very even sound. Okay. And it's really a very helpful tool to so that you know basically what your machine should sound like when it's ideal. Here is our squatty clamshell. That's going to be second, okay? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to line this up. I want to turn it so you can see me line it up. And I am going to put this line on that seam line because this is where my foot is going to, or my needle is going to end up, is right there. And I'll go ahead and do it from this vantage point.
Ned Watkins. Yeah, I did question and you covered it before, but
Okay, we got a question.
yeah,
Can you tell me the question?
with keeping your fingertips near the edge, the arch edge help with the arch tipping up a little.
Yeah, because, well, you don't want that to tip up. And so keeping fingers or hands on both sides will keep the template flat on the surface of the fabric. Because flipping up, what's going to happen if this flips up, you're going to actually get off of the edge of the template. Okay. Now, if you do it this way, what's going to happen is your foot is going to slip under that template. And if it does slip under that template, that is really bad news. You're going to end up with first at least a broken needle. You may end up with the needle smashing into your ruler, which will shatter the ruler, and you could throw your machine out of time. So keeping the template nice and flat on top of that surface is really important.
Charlotte says with most others, I can hear their machines, and some are really noisy,
Yes.
but not yours. I cannot hear yours.
Really? That, yeah, this is a very quiet machine. I wish you guys could hear it because it really is just a nice sound. I love this machine. Okay. So here's my second pass. Now, if you're a VeggieTales fan, that could be Larry and the Angry Eyebrows, okay? Just wanted to throw that out there. Oh, steak fajitas. Oh my goodness, Linda, your husband cooks, he feeds you well. Oh,
Come over.
Ted says he's coming over. He loves that kind of food. Me, not as much. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our third 3-inch template, and I'm going to turn it this way so you can see what I'm doing. And again, I've got myself coming into this, whoops, right here, and I have to maneuver it just a little bit because the fabric is starting to draw up, but that's not a problem at all. Let me show you how I do that. I'm going to come in. I'm going to stop at the very top, this very top. Now I'm just going to move my template over so that my halfway mark is lined up with the lowest point on the previously stitched clamshells. Okay, and then we're going to go back down, taking my time. And now we're going to head back up again. And one more time, we're going to head down into that seam allowance. And there we go. Now, if you have the ovals, the oval clamshells, or I'm sorry, yeah, it would be the oval clamshells, or even the other oval rulers, you can just keep adding this and adding to this and adding to this, and you would have some really dramatic swags. And it's made with clamshells. So, oh, Linda said he's an excellent cook. She's inviting you for lunch tomorrow. Yeah, he'd be there if he could, Linda, trust me. Oh, yeah, we have so many different things available to us, and there are so many variations that we can take off of any one of our templates.
And the air coolers work for this too?
Yes, yes, to a point.
Lee Law.
Lead to a point. They can, yes. Now, tomorrow morning, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at our starter set. And we have a 4-inch arc in our starter set, and I'm going to show you how to use that 4-inch arc for a clamshell. Okay. I can pull out some other, oh, I can pull out some other ovals and we can look at those as well. And speaking of, look what Ken just pulled out for next week. Simple ovals. Love simple ovals. You know, the ovals are unique in that we have two templates for each one. And that is because we get the inside cut out and we can go around the inside of the oval. So they are inside and outside templates. So we're going to be probably talking a lot about what we did tonight about staying on here, although I didn't really cover that all that well tonight. So you're going to get a lot more of that next week. But tomorrow morning, we are going to still look at clamshells. It's just going to be using different templates to make clamshells. We're going to use the hexagon. We're going to use some ovals. We're going to use some arcs. We're going to use our 6-inch spiral, our 4-inch arc. We're gonna find out that we really have a lot more opportunities for clamshells than we originally thought we had. So I hope that you'll join me tomorrow. Again, share, like, subscribe. I said that in the wrong order. It's like, share, and subscribe, I guess. Oh well, whatever it is, please go ahead and do that. Always know that I'm available if you want to get a hold of me. So study.com, education tab, and I am under the instructors list. My contact information is there. I don't mind getting phone calls, texts, or messages or emails. Any way you feel you want to get a hold of me if you have a question, please feel free to. Okay? You are quite welcome. Yeah, I know, Becky, it really is early for you. You know, I we do have them recorded so you can see it after the fact, okay? Um, I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you guys. You're really very, very loyal being here each week. It makes my heart feel good, and I thank you profusely because it really does give me inspiration to want to become a better teacher for you. So until we meet again, let's quilt.